I'm having a conversation with Hunter Ballam today, and we're talking about tell me a little bit about Moto. How did you get started, and where did it come from?
Yeah, Moto. I mean, I'll always say this. I've definitely am lucky to hop on the train and mooch off of my brother's success. Taylor Ballam, he's my oldest brother. He is the founder of Moto. But really, the story comes from, I mean, you could truly start it 20 years ago when we were just young kids, and he was doing ski videos in the back of our backyard. We were making videos in the neighborhood. We'd make the videos, we'd put them on VHS tapes, and we would literally go door to door and try to sell them to parents of the kids in the videos.
Did you make money?
I mean, like $1 a video probably.
Oh, that's cool.
But I feel like we were strategic too. We would try to knock on the doors of the parents of the children that were in the videos. So they'd feel obligated to buy a copy or whatever. So
it's very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, we tried, but that's truly where it started. He just had a love and a passion for video filmmaking, and it started there. Then he did his whole college thing where it went back and forth with, can I make a living even off of doing video? It just didn't seem realistic, but he stuck to it. Started with iFit NordicTrack agency up there, moved up to Seattle and did a few agency things there, but then realized hey, I can do this on my own. I can make it. And since there, we hired our first full-time editor team member 5 years ago, and now have grown to a team of almost 10. We call ourselves 10, but 9 team members here today. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you've really made an impact in Utah. You guys are pretty busy.
Thanks.
What type of clients do you bring in here? What are you focused on?
Yeah, I mean, we're really scrappy, so we truly do work all over the board. But if you look at our main verticals and industries, we work within a lot of health and wellness, a lot of actual consumer goods. So we work with a lot of e-commerce and direct-to-consumer brands, so physical goods that they can sell. We can do a lot of content here in our studio or on location. So fortunately, we've grown over the years naturally just because of us hustling, trying to do good work for our clients. They know somebody else within the space, and we've grown within that consumer goods world. We didn't do it necessarily on purpose. It wasn't some sort of niche strategy, but because of the good client relationships and growth, and I think just good work that our team has done, we've grown naturally because of that. So
you have a great studio.
Thanks.
It's full service.
Yep.
You can film a lot in here. Tell us a little bit about all the different functionalities of it.
Yeah. So we really tried to make it a one-stop shop for everyone. So you can get as basic as if you wanted to rent it out, you're a videographer and you want to do your own thing, you can do a half-day rental with us, a full-day rental with us. You can come in here, you've got the lights rigged up, you've got the different sets, and we tried to make it so that everybody's taken care of as soon as they step in the door. And then full-blown productions, big sets that we do. We tried to style our all the way down to our bathrooms so that we can shoot beauty products in there, our kitchen. We're sitting in our living room set that we're changing literally every other week. We've got our big white cyc wall for all of our production needs over there too. So we really tried to be thoughtful in the process of okay, what have we seen in studios that we loved? What have we seen that we didn't like or we felt like was missing, and tried to fill in the gaps from there.
So do you work with a lot of clients locally, of course, but do you get a lot of clients from out of state?
Yeah, absolutely, quite a bit. And I'd say some of our biggest clients are located out of state, but just to build that trust where we can shoot a lot of stuff here in Utah, locally, around the area, here in our studio specifically too. And we've done a good job of looping them in, helping them, sometimes even direct remotely. We remote wire people in for certain shoots. They're literally here on a Zoom call, helping us, direct some things if that's what they want.
Okay.
In other cases, we're directing, taking care of everything start to finish. And that's actually the majority of our projects, where they have some sort of scope, they know what they want, but they trust Moto to get the job done, to get the creative done. So they just say, you guys do you, and we love it, and we take it from there.
So you have tight deadlines sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like
all the
urgent.
time. All the time. It's always yesterday.
Okay, so you start. You also cast the talent. So what does that process look like? When you're looking for talent, what do you mainly look for?
Yeah. Hard workers is always number one. We love to work with the same people a lot because we've built I feel like how our clients feel about us. You know, if we did a good job and they come back, I think it's because we worked harder.
Connections.
We did a good job keeping them in the loop, whatever it is. So number one is if we've had a good experience with a talent, we feel like they had a good attitude, they were a good person to work with, they worked hard, that's always going to be a bonus to come back. Two, it can really be project specific. So I know that's the tough thing for sometimes, you know, people who are looking to get into modeling or talent, whatever it is that they're trying to do and trying to break into the industry. Sometimes it just comes down to my client needs somebody that's super comfortable on camera. They're looking for a certain age demographic. Okay, Hunter, here you go, you know, go find the best people. And from there, we're auditioning 30, 40, 50 people to try to find the right
For
fit.
project. So it's an older age range here that you look for, right? What is that age range typically?
Yeah, it usually is, and I think it's because of the target demo that our clients typically have, and going back to a lot of people that we work with in health and wellness, a lot of those consumer goods that are usually addressing towards a slightly older age demographic, anywhere from 30 to 80 years old for these different products that we have. So just kind of comes down to the product and the benefits that it has for the different age groups, stuff like that.
Have you ever had a moment where you're on set and go, we've cast the wrong person? Or is it pretty thorough up until that point?
It happens, but very, very rarely. And I think that's a credit to your team, to the teams that we work with locally, to the connections that we have. I can't say that we're perfect on our jobs either. Like, sure, we make mistakes. I'm sure that there's talent that we cast that have an off day too, and that totally happens. But 99.9% of the time, we're very confident with the people we're working with. They do a fantastic job on set. They come ready, and as long as we've got somebody who's just willing to kind of put themselves out there, work hard, I don't consider it a bad job done, you know, as long as they come ready to work. So.
Okay. We were talking earlier that you would like to take a little bit of a break because it's been so busy. That's a good problem to have, but think about in terms of next year, when you're coming back, do you feel like, have you already got projects lined up?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's going to be a busy 2024?
Yeah, it is, hopefully. I mean, that's the goal. If I'm going back all the way to the breakdown of how we operate at Moto, both Taylor and myself are really the ones in charge of bringing in all new business client relationships right now. So not only am I producing projects, but I'm trying to win all the new business as well. So finding ways to keep our clients either on a retainer or just repeat projects, because this industry is so project by project, and that's why there can be the peaks and the valleys, and we really try to avoid that as much as possible because we want to be consistent for our team, we want to be able to pay people well, we want to be fair. So we really try to ride those peaks and valleys as much as possible. So we do have a few projects already lined up and contracts set for all the way through mid next year.
That's awesome.
To help keep us busy and hopefully, you know, talent as well. We're already looking at like, okay, well, let's form some sort of booklet where we have our go-to people because these projects will come up on us real quick. So
why do you have go-to people?
They're trustworthy, they work hard, you have those connections like you talked about earlier. I mean, we can rely and depend on them. We know that the quality of work that we'll be getting when they show up.
What's it like being a creative in Utah?
Yeah.
In the creative business, what is that like? Because it's, you know, you're constantly moving, shaking, trying to create something unique and different.
It's so fun, honestly. And my background wasn't in creative. I was working in sports and entertainment before this. I was at Utah Jazz selling partnerships and tickets. So it's such a big change. But the creative industry is filled in Utah with such great people. I genuinely can't say that enough about our team, about the people that we've networked with, the other agencies in Utah. So many great mindsets, so many great people. I think a lot of people have that abundance mindset. There's not a lot of trying to I'm trying to undercut you, you're trying to undercut me. It's truly, there's lots of work to go around. And so it's really fun to be a creative. And the great thing is it's a smaller community. It's big enough that there's great talent, but it's a smaller community that you get to shake hands with a lot of different people, work with a lot of different people, and you bump shoulders with a lot of the same people over and over again. But that's what's so fun, is you get to see a lot of familiar faces on different projects.
That's awesome. So when you get something from a client and they say, okay, this is what we're thinking about, do you create all the concepts? Do you go through the process of, okay, this is the story we're going to tell, this is how we're going to go in there and move this in this direction or that direction?
Yeah.
What's that process like?
Yeah, a little bit of both on Moto's end. So we are full service creative. So when I say full service creative, I mean we can take something that really doesn't exist, maybe just a tiny idea, and then create storyboards or concepts, pitch them ideas, then we execute, we hire the talent, we make the production happen, and post-production as well. So I'd say that's 50% of our projects are that way. And then the other half, maybe our client already has a creative team, and they come to us with their idea, they've got their scripts, and they're like, hey, we just know you guys do a great job of actually executing on the idea, making the edits happen, and so we take their idea and run. So it's pretty split, 50-50, I'd say.
Well, is there anything else you would like to share today that you feel is important for our industry, the creative industry, the production?
Just if somebody's wanting to get into the urban world or talent and they're trying to break through, it's just honestly be a good person to work with, show up ready to work, be your genuine self is always such a plus for us. Like I said earlier, when we're looking for the right people for our jobs, whether it's a cinematographer that we're hiring or whether it's somebody we're hiring to be our actual talent, we're just looking for good people. Genuinely, that's what Moto has been founded on. We just want to be good people to work with and work with the right people as well. So that's all I'd say, is just be your true self, be genuine, and be authentic, form good connections. And if you are trying to break through into the industry, talk to people, ask questions. I am number one at not knowing a lot coming into this industry. I had a total clean slate coming in, which I'm grateful for because I've just been able to ask questions, learn, connect with the right people. So don't feel dumb ever, even if you just wanted to come connect with me and be like, what are you looking for in a job? Why did I not get that job if that I was auditioning for? Sometimes maybe I'll have a good answer, and maybe it'll just be like, you know what, it wasn't the right fit for this one. And I think that's okay, but just ask questions, connect with people. There's just so many good people in this industry that are willing to help and put themselves out there for others.
A lot of times clients don't really give feedback, and could it be just because the feedback is they just picked the person for the job because they felt that connection, they felt that person had the right specs that they were looking for? Yeah. It doesn't mean the others weren't, it just means that they didn't fit all the dots.
Yeah, and it happens. There's plenty of jobs where the sad truth is we were looking for a very specific age demographic or a specific look or a specific gender, and that's okay. But there's plenty of other times where, hey, there might be feedback. Hey, your audition was so good. That's the type of vibe we were looking for. Or hey, the energy just fell a little short and it wasn't as authentic as we were hoping for on your video audition or whatever it is. So there's times where there is feedback. There's other times where it's like, it's tough luck, and that's how it goes. So.
Do you like it? Do you like it when talent send in self-tapes versus auditioning live? What's your favorite?
We've done a little bit of both, but since post-COVID, I think we got pretty used to just the transition to the tapes. So I don't really care either way. Again, as long as we're just getting an authentic version of themselves, then that's most important to me. So more importantly is just somebody trying to send a self-tape, giving a full effort. If it's trying to find the type of energy or vibe or what we're looking for, that's most important, whether in person or on a tape.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
For sharing with us today. It's great to hear from industry leaders such as yourself.
Thank you.